Good morning, guys. Beautiful fall day in the north. Leaves are coming down. We're losing a lot of the color now. It's been raining. We still haven't had frost, so not your typical fall. I want to slow down in this video. I want to do another Transcending with Gary video. I've been working like crazy on the channel lately. The analytical side of Gary is always testing things, right? So I'm looking at the channel going, okay, we've set a goal, 100,000 subscribers. And Gary's going to work himself to death to get there. That's what I always do. And I've realized that through the testing, I've done the testing before. I already knew the answer to this. My test this time was, if I do a video every day for the month of October, will the channel grow substantially? And I don't mean in terms of money. I mean in terms of views, in terms of new people coming to the channel. And the answer to that after 2 weeks is no. We're getting the exact same numbers that we always get. We're going to have 480 to 530 new subscribers at the end of this month. That's just the rate that we grow at. And Gary is killing himself to get there. So I've decided halfway through this test, I'm going to stop. I'm just going to go back to the old schedule, a couple videos a week. I'm killing myself. This is a part-time adventure-filling thing, right? It's not about money. It's not about a job. It's about Gary having fun and doing the things he wants to do in his spare time. That's what this channel is. It's my hobby channel, right? If we listen to our inner selves, it will tell us if we're doing things for the right reasons. And growing the channel just for the sake of growing the channel, because that's all I'm doing, right? I don't have a financial goal in mind here. I'm not trying to fill my life with hours of work. I'm just trying to enjoy hobbies. So this goal that I've set of 100,000, it's going to happen on its own time, right? I don't think it's something that I can force or should force, because then I'm not enjoying it. I'm actually feeling burnt out. And the creative energy, I find the creative energy ebbs and flows. I can't explain it. If you're a creative person, you'll understand. It's there, you can use it up, and it will refill. Some people, it refills faster than others. And for myself, creative energy flows very quickly. I've always, even if I were to create 6 videos, or in this case, I just created 14 videos for you guys in 14 days. I'm feeling at a low right now, but if I take 3 days off, that creative energy level will come right back up, and I could probably go and do another 7 videos in 7 days. But there is an ebb and flow to it. I can't constantly push that envelope and stay engaged. I've got the 100mm macro, and I just want to walk the trails, and there's lots of little beautiful ground cover still here. The trees have lost most of their leaves, but the low bush, you'll see there's red behind me, there's yellows, and when we zoom in on it with this, we can really bring the colors out. Mushrooms, all kinds of stuff. So this is how Gary meditates, right here. This device brings Gary into the now, into the present moment. When you're doing photography, you have to be paying attention to what's going on right now, looking around you in a zone of 10 feet, 20 feet, whatever it is, and you're zoned right in, you are in the present. It also clears my mind. I'm not thinking about a million other things. I'm composing, I'm being creative, and I'm capturing, and I guess it's just the act of creating that keeps me grounded, right? Keeps me focused, centered. Photography is my meditation. There have been times in my life where I have done things for the wrong reasons, photography being one of them. You know, sometimes we take that job that we have to in order to survive when we're young and don't have any money, but then we continue on much longer than we really should, right? Oh, I'm making money, I'm getting ahead a little bit, I hate it, it's destroying my soul, but I keep doing it, right? And that is for the wrong reasons. And I think when we're younger, we don't listen to our inner self. We just say, I can do this, I can survive by doing this, right? But it sucks the passion and the creativity out of the things you love. And that's why people often stop doing what they love, right? Because they've been doing it for the wrong reason. And I've come to realize over the years, listen to your inner self, and you'll know when you're doing things for the wrong reason. And right now, working on this channel, pumping out a video every day, doing these tests that I'm doing. I don't know why I'm doing these tests. What does it matter at what rate my YouTube channel grows? Again, this is just a number that I've put out there to myself, a goal. And to achieve that goal, I'm destroying what I love. So I'm not gonna do that anymore. In fact, you know, I wish I could stop myself. I'm going to try from following the analytics of my channel. I really don't care. It sucks the fun out of doing the channel. And the whole point of me doing the channel is to do it for fun. And the same thing with photography. For years, I was a wedding photographer. I did that for weekends. You know, every summer I would have 8 or 9 weekends in a row booked. I would go do weddings, family events, whatever. I hated it. I was never into that kind of photography. I was never into Bridezilla, you know. I want a checklist of these 100 things and it's got to be done on this timeline and you're not going to eat. You're going to be here for 3 days. And, you know, I hated it. I never enjoyed it. I did it to make ends meet, but it sucked the creativity right out of this guy. So nature photography out here, this is what makes Gary thrive. I want all of you guys to look deep inside. Are you doing something, that second job that you really don't need to do? You're just doing it because you know, you've gotten ahead and, you know, your inner self is really telling you it's time to move on. It's time to try something new. That's the problem, right? Is we get comfortable, we get a routine, and we don't want to leave that routine, even though we're not enjoying what we're doing. I guess that's the message is take a deep look at ourselves this week, guys. Are we doing anything that we could really do without in our lives at this point? Remember, things are changing, right? Maybe you don't financially need that little boost, or there's other opportunities you could replace that with something that you would enjoy much more. You know, I think this is a problem with our modern society is everything comes down to money, right? And we will destroy a lot of our lives in the pursuit of money. The Road Less Traveled. I finished the first book. And in doing so, I realized that I've been telling you guys about the second book, which is, or I thought was, Beyond the Road Less Traveled. That is actually, I've come to find out, the third book. That this series is actually a trilogy. So the second book, which is called Further Along the Road Less Traveled, I had to order from Amazon yesterday. Gets great reviews. All 3 of them get great reviews. And I'm going to move on to the second one. Should be here tomorrow or the next day. And I'm going to move on to the second one. And I'll give you guys some insights from that one as we go. The final insight from The Road Less Traveled actually is something that we talked about in the last video that I came to through meditation on my own, which is, you know, I said, what would happen if we were here doing these life lessons over and over? Eventually, we would become gods. Well, guess what the last chapter in the book mentions? He goes down that exact road and says the ultimate goal of spirituality and growth is to become a god. He actually says what I told you guys in the last video. And he also talks about the fear that is associated about that thought by humans because of our laziness. So he equates a lot of us not wanting to change or get out of our routines or change our mindsets because we're lazy. We're all innately lazy creatures, right? We don't want to do any more than we need to. And now I don't agree 100% with that whole section that he talks about, but yeah, I could see laziness in myself, even though I'm a go-getter, even though I've often in my life worked 2 jobs at once. There are things that I've taken the easy route. I mean, we all do, right? So, oh yeah, look at the color right there. There's a photograph. Don't even think about it. Come on, away from there. he has a tendency, whatever I'm looking at, to get in there and destroy it before I get a picture of it. Not today, buddy. Not today. I keep analyzing this, and Gary's going to talk himself out of a YouTube job. This series, Transcending with Gary, I love it. Okay, I love sharing with you guys the opening and expansion of my mind, my soul, my spirituality, and reading your guys' comments and seeing that a lot of you guys are going through the exact same phase of life that I am. I love it. It's like a self-help for Gary from home. I don't have to go anywhere, and I get to share these experiences with you guys. Now, when we look at the analytics for this series, it's doing the exact opposite to my channel, what I want it to do, and that is grow the channel. I'm actually losing subs each video I put out. Now, people are going to think, oh, Gary doesn't like that. Guys, it's actually the opposite. I love clicking on one of these videos in a week from now and saying, hey, I lost 7 subs. You know why? Because those 7 subs don't get Gary. They don't get this channel. They don't get what I'm trying to present. Can't have a Transcending with Gary video and not have a therapeutic stress dog. Come here, buddy. Say hello to everybody. Come here. Come here. Sit. Tell everybody to relax and have a good day. Enjoy a stick. The other thing I want to touch on, I guess, which is part of this listening to your inner self, is expectation. The Leaf season started last night, the 2021 Leaf opener, and the Leafs won. Now, they came out flat, looked terrible in the first period. It was 1-1, and I thought, here we go again, start to another season, but they did manage to score in the third, and they won 2-1 against Montreal. But I also realized before the starting of the game last night, I watched it with Tom, I went over to his place, it's not the outcome of the season, it's Gary's expectation of the season that dictates how disappointed I am. So I'm a very emotional person, right? I get excited, as you guys know. Little things in my photography, my work out here in the swamp, I could find a mushroom and be ecstatic. You know, there's a great photo. I just showed you guys the leaf with the water drops on it back there, right? Prime example. I don't go through life at a monotone. I'm very up, but I can also be down, right? I'm emotional roller coaster. Now, I've learned over the years to stop that lower end, you know, to work on staying positive, and this is what obviously what this series is about, right? All the things, the tricks and tips that Gary has learned to deal with anxiety, stress, and grow spiritually. A big part of that is expectation, right? You have to monitor. It's your thoughts that are going to make things worse than they are, whether it's the outcome of a sporting game, event, or anything else in your life. It is your own thought process that's going to dictate whether it's a super high or a super low. And you should try to aim for that somewhere in between or above, right? Like, I have no problem with people being up here on top all the time, as long as you're not, you know, alcohol and drugs to get there all the time. And we all know people who are like that, right? They'll learn that lesson. They're either going to get past that or they're not. But if you can monitor that in your own personality without outside influence, that's another secret to success. And what I'm going to call that is managing expectations, I guess, right? Why is that important? Why am I talking about that? Well, not only in little things like the Leaf game last night, because when you're a true sports fan and you're watching 2 or 3 sporting events a week, it can make you up and down, right? Your team loses, you're upset for a couple days. Oh, they better perform the next game. And when they come out and they don't, you know, if you're a true sports fan, you guys know what I'm talking about. Even right here in my work, okay, right here, making this video for you guys, making the Bigfoot excursion videos when we're out, I put a lot of pressure on myself to make it interesting, to find something, to make sure, you know, without being unreal. Like, you guys know, I keep everything grounded. But there are videos where I go out, I don't hear a dang thing. I don't see a dang thing. How do I make a video out of that for you guys? I have an expectation that I need at least 2 or 3 videos out a week. And again, I don't need to do that. That's something I've put on myself, right? So again, you have to step back and look, what do you expect to get out of this? What is realistic? And what is going to keep me at that happy level or above? That's Gary's advice for this week. That you can use that for anything in your life, whether it's work, play, creating. You know, I used to have that problem with creative writing, painting, things like that. I would never be happy with the outcome. My expectation was just too great, right? Where I've thrown out work I'm sure was perfectly acceptable. I would probably look back now 20 years later when I was in art school and say, that was beautiful. Guess what? Gary turfed it, right? So you learn as you go, right? It's about expectation. It's about perfectionism. That's another part of it. There's so many things we can talk about in this Transcending with Gary series, you know, and I suffer from all of them. So for this video, the best thing Gary can do is come out with no expectation of success. Just come out and be in the moment, enjoy, pay attention to my surroundings, and go within myself. Focus on photography, and that's it. No expectation. That's my advice. When you're doing your passion, remove expectation. One video at a time, 1 or 2 lessons at a time. And right now I'm going to put the phone down, take the camera out, and do some more shots.